But yeah, we're going to, let me get my YouTube pulled up here, but we're going to learn it together.
Nice. Where in the documentation is this located? Is this
Yeah,
a new thing?
I'll share it with you guys. Just getting
Okay.
started here. All right, let me go ahead. Let me pull up the documentation. I'll get you guys a link. So this is a new set of APIs that just came available week before last, I think, or maybe it was last week. I don't know. It's very recent anyway. But we do have some documentation. And so for the first 10 or 15 minutes, we're actually just going to go over the documentation because I've not even read it myself. So we're just going to kind of see what they gave us here. Although it was released a few weeks ago, they just now gave us the documentation in today's patch notes. So for Discord, here is a link to that, and I'll also drop it in YouTube as well for everybody. All right, and here it is. Teams API reference. So basic functions for team-based gameplay. In Horizon, every world comes with team management logic. Players can, at any time during their session, join, leave, or change teams at will. However, a player can only be in one of a given team group. Team groups are always, team groups are ways to separate teams into different sets. This allows the creation of multiple gameplay bubbles with their own teams in a single world. Honestly, I'm still confused, but
It's like on Fortnite. It's like on Fortnite when you go in, you play with your team or with your crew, and they battle other teams and stuff.
okay,
If that makes sense.
okay,
That's how I'm reading it.
okay, I can see that.
Like it makes a lot of sense. So if you could have a team that is like, oh, the blue team or the red team, sort of. But I mean, doesn't that happen already to some extent?
So, as far as like, you definitely have the ability to like script all of this yourself, and you always have had the ability. Now they just kind of gave us this API to make it easier for us.
Cool.
So we've got create team group, just takes a name as a string, doesn't return anything. Create a new group of teams, server only, raises an exception on clients. I think that's referring to the fact that it can only be a default script, can't be a locally scripted. And of course, the name was the only parameter. A unique name of the group to create. Empty or duplicate names will be ignored. Okay. You can also delete the team. All you need is their name. But it says for the delete team group, this creates a new team within a group. I don't think that's right. So that seems like a typo right out the gate there. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll take a screenshot and just kind of share it in a channel with Meta. Just let them know. Let's see, typo in New team article. All right. So, yeah, we're going to assume this is for deleting and not creating teams. Create create a new team within a group. Yeah, that's not. It don't even make no sense. All right. So this is what creates a new team in a group, but it says delete a team within a group. So that's also wrong.
Uh-oh.
So this is a good start. I think Noel pointed this out in chat earlier. He was looking over it already.
They're testing you today.
All right, so I think these two descriptions are swapped. But when we do go to create a team, it does want the team name, and apparently there's an optional group name that you can supply as well. So obviously your team name is a unique name of the team. It says the name of the group in which teams will exist, undefined, or redirects to the default group. Okay, so I read that just to get a little more, see if they glean any more insight into how groups are meant to be used. And then if you can create a team, you can obviously delete a team with the team name and optional group. Why optional group here? Let's see if it says. So adds a player to a team. If the player was already in a team, they are removed from it at the same time. They a removed from it at the same time. That's Jesus. I may ask. Anyway, um, okay. How many more typos we gonna find? So anyway,
Yeah.
name of the team to delete. Non-existing teams are ignored. Name of the group from which the team will be removed. Undefined redirects to the default group while non-existing groups are ignored. I find that really strange at the moment. If I delete a team, obviously it's going to delete it from the group because it don't exist. Why would I need to specify the group? Maybe it'll become clear later on. So you can add a player to the team, just need a reference to the player, you need the team name, and again, an optional group name removes a player from the team, the player object to, or, okay, obviously it doesn't remove a player from a team. Okay, this article is riddled with mistakes. Name of the team to add to, and name of the group where the team exists, undefined redirects to default while non-existent groups are ignored. Okay. Okay, and obviously this is messed up too. Did any of these get right? Every one of these is wrong.
Do you think it was made with AI? That's a joke. Sometimes it's good to have things not look like it's made with AI. I'm trying to wrap my head around that. The group name and the team stuff as well. It's like, what's the case scenario where you want that?
I know. And like, what if I give it like, what if I go to add a player to a team, and then I list a group that's not even that team's not even in the group, like, yeah. I'm still fairly confused, but we'll move on and pretend like we understand until we do. We're just gonna fake it till we make it. And you're right, Noel. This thing is riddled with errors. I've already submitted those. Like, if they're in a group, do you have to specify it? We'll have to do some testing and see what the behavior is, I guess. And then, of course, removing a player apparently adds a player to a local team. I'm curious. Remove player. So this is again. This is referring to a local team, but we actually have a local player. Like, again, it's wrong. I would like to know what a local team though is. Sorry.
Maybe it's something to do with friends that are visiting the same world or something like that, or some weird exception to it.
All the errors in this article actually make it kind of difficult to read.
It could, well, it could introduce the option for roles. So you could have multiple roles that are on different teams, I guess. Struggling to find a use case scenario. Sorry.
Yeah, it feels like an afterthought, like, oh shit, there's this one case scenario where we need to have this exception, and then they have to change that. You know, like that's how I feel. It feels like, and we haven't figured that out yet.
How's this different from just having a map?
It's just a turnkey solution is all. It would be for both VR and mobile. It doesn't describe to us what a local. It doesn't describe to us what this means. Unless, okay, so if we go back up. Why would this ever be a local script? Because this is for clients only, raises an exception on the server. I'm already frustrated.
My other question would be, could you save team variables or group variables that way? Which would be awesome.
I doubt it. All right, so you can get player team. So you supply a player an optional group name, and it will return a string or undefined. It gets the list of all groups currently existing. No, it don't. Returns the name of the team a given player is in. That's what get team player does. And get team group names gets a list of all groups currently existing in the world. Get team names returns a list of all teams within a group. I don't know what within is. It's new. Get team players returns a list of player IDs in a team. Returns a list. Okay, so they actually got this one right. They just duplicated it, but because it was the last one, they're like, oh. Anyway, so this one though accepts a world parameter, which is new. They also, why did they display it this way and all the others they displayed in this format? No consistency with this article. Returns the list of player IDs in a team. Player objects, oh, I already read that. So the world parameter, so world to extract the player list from team name. Name of the team to add to. Oh, this is supposed to be, there's supposed to be a line break here. Because that's another parameter. Team name. Okay, so the world to extract the player list from teams. And so currently we don't have any ability to get like a reference to other worlds. And it actually wants it casted as a world. So unless this is like in anticipation of a feature that we don't have access to yet, I'm not sure how or why we would reference a world when we want to get a list of players from a team.
Unless there's a world persistent variable or something.
Yeah, something we don't have yet, right? And then there's an on player changed teams code block event. In addition to the function above, the on player changed teams event is a powerful tool for creators. A full list of code blocks can be found here. I don't think there'll be anything new. No, this one's just stuck in here at the bottom. So it's the only one down there.
I mean, it's just managing all the list functions for the players and everything, right?
Yeah.
It just makes it easier.
Yep, pretty much.
So cool.
Let's fire up a world, and maybe we can get a few of us in together, and maybe write some examples of this, right? So let me go ahead and I guess we kind of need to think of a.
I can hop in there.
Yeah, we'll do that in just a minute. First, I want to get something wrote. Oh, this is a new tab. I didn't see this before. NPC debugger. Okay, that's new. I don't know if anyone else has that, but let's. So I'm gonna think out a scenario, and really you don't have to get like super complicated, right? It could just be red team, blue team. But also, I want to consider like writing this in such a way where it can be useful for new people. Like maybe I can bundle this up, end up bundling this into an asset, and share it with everyone else. I'm gonna step away for just a second. I'm gonna grab me a drink of water here and tell the kids to be quiet. I'll be right back.
We need some intermission music or something.
BluNET has been brought to you by T&T.
Okay. So let me just look back over here again. So we can create a group, delete a group, create a team, delete a team, add a player, remove a player, add a local player, remove a local player, get players from a team. What if we just build what if I drop maybe some trigger gizmos We'll make one for. Huh?
Are you gonna share your screen? Are you gonna share your screen, Blue?
Oh, I'm actually broadcasting on Discord. I didn't realize I wasn't sharing. Or I'm about broadcasting on YouTube. I didn't realize I wasn't sharing on Discord.
Oh, where was mine?
Here we go. I think this is the right one. Okay. Alright, so we'll have a couple of triggers, and maybe I'll drop, we'll just keep it simple and say red team, blue team, right? Read team. Alright, I need you to turn around 180 degrees. And then, actually, we'll just copy this. Blue team. Alright. And then I think maybe I'll create like a board where I can print out some of this information. So let's grab another one of these. Put it in the middle and just push it back here. And then text don't need to be as big either. So let's maybe just cut that down to a 5 for now. Probably don't even need to be that big, but no more players than we'll have in here testing. It's okay. And I guess what we'll do is just, for now I'll leave it blank. I might decorate it later, but we're just going to call it display text, give it a name. And these don't need names because we're not using them in the script. This will be red trigger. We'll give this one blue trigger. There we go, finally topped the word trigger after the third try. And let's go ahead and drop a script. I'm just going to call it teams. Okay. Oops. Make sure you guys can see that. And I want to pull up the API references on my other monitor here so I can reference them easy enough. Hang on a second. Okay. So this is actually ends up being under, I think it's this.world.teams. Let me check. This.world.team. Okay, yeah, so it's on, so that's where it's located under in the core, of course. So let me go down, expand world, and it's a property. Okay, here we go. So let's set up, let's go ahead and set up, I'm going to need a reference to both of my triggers. So we're going to do red trigger and blue trigger. Where's Copilot at? Copilot.
Sometimes I can't get it to show up either. It's the key command or something.
Is it because we're in restricted? Is that what it is? It might be. Let's trust this. Yep, that's true. That's what it was. So let's see. Will it make a suggestion? Okay. All right, so we've got references to two triggers. We're also going to make a reference to that display text. And no, it's not a string. Still an entity. Okay. And let's set up a pre-start. And this is where we'll connect. So first of all, we need to make sure that our triggers have values. So we can say something, if this dot props dot red trigger, and do the same thing for blue trigger. Now we can say this dot connect code block event, this dot props dot red trigger, hz code blocks dot on player enter trigger. We'll redirect that to I forget why it won't let me do that with the code blocks versions. I should just be able to do. Okay, just a second, guys. Okay. Bye. I didn't think I had to define the type. I don't actually recall defining the type. Just want to make sure we're on the right track. right then. So this is good. Go ahead and fill in blue. Why would you suggest all that? I think there was a way to, yeah. That's where I want to stop. Okay. So now, I think maybe on world start, we probably need to go ahead and create our teams because we don't actually have a red team and blue team to add them to yet. So we could say this dot world dot team dot, and then we've got create a team group or just create a team. So we'll do the basics first. The team name. So this is blue team. And then we won't define a group. And so if we don't define a group, it'll just be default then.
I was thinking the groups could be like positions on like a baseball team, if you think about it. Might be a way that they justify that.
So you're saying the group should be blue team, red team, and then the teams within the group should be outfielders, infielders.
I'm saying the groups would be the different positions. That's my theory. I mean, like I don't know.
Well, I think the teams are nested within groups, not groups within teams.
Oh, I see it the other way. A team group would be like the Dodgers, and then the team group would be the pitchers of the Dodgers. But that's how I would see it. But I could be. I mean, I don't know. Could be wrong.
Well, you can't add players to a group. You can only add players to a team. But you can add, and so there's no API for adding teams to a group, but when you create the team, you can define the group.
Oh, I see. Weird.
But we'll ignore it for now.
Yeah, don't we slow things down. Like, let's go basic on this.
Blue team, red team, they're created. So I should be able to say, and technically, these should probably be constants in my script, but whatever. So I don't have to type them and then end up, potentially making a typo somewhere in my code. But so player enters red trigger. We're going to say this dot world dot teams add player to team. The player is entered by, and the team is red team, and so same here, right? And then we also want to do a display text, and maybe each one of these can this dot display text. I think that's what Drew was just saying. I feel like it's the opposite. I think that's the way it sounds like it works in my head. the group would be like the overall, and you can have multiple teams within a group. So in the case of baseball, it would be like the team is the Atlanta Braves, and the groups are your pitchers and your first baseman and stuff, or your outfielders, your infielders, however you want to divide it up. It's not important. So we want to possibly, let's do this dot world dot get, team dot get the players team, no, get the team group names, no, get the team names. I mean, that's cool, but let's get team players. And so I think this is going to return back some IDs. So we have to define the world, and I think this is just going to be maybe, is it this dot world? Is that acceptable? Okay, yeah, that's a world top. Red team, and then for each player. That's exactly what I want. Finish what you were doing. Display text. Oh, actually, let's do just like I haven't messed around with strings a whole lot. Oh, it's a const. Plus equals player's name. Well, so I think, let's see. This returns back, oh, it does turn back an array of players. But it says returns a list of player IDs, but it literally don't. It just returns a list of player references. If it was IDs, I would expect this to return a list of numbers and not players. That's crazy. Okay. So we can reference just the straight player. We don't have to get the player from their ID, which I thought we were going to have to do. I wonder if that works for text gizmos instead of a line break like we typically do with the BR. All right, and then after we're done with that loop, now we'll say display text dot as hz text gizmo dot text dot set string holder. Okay.
Why would you join the red team?
Interesting. Oh, because I only, okay. Well, that makes sense. I only referenced the red team anyway. I mean, I guess we could, yeah, let's continue that with the blue team as well. Let's do them both and see if it's swapping me on teams. It may just be doing like a straight swap. Alright, so we go to red, and then we go to blue. Yeah, it just swapped teams when I Okay. All right, so that's that. Um, who wants some invites to come in and run some more advanced tests?
I can pop in there.
Who else said? Burn Buns, were you coming? Or did I? Gotcha. Okay. All right, while you guys are accepting, I will write up some more code here. So,
What's that world called? What did you call it?
I think it's just called World 1. I didn't rename it. It doesn't, you know what it doesn't do, or at least it doesn't do team balancing. Like, that would have been convenient. So red team, Burn Buns is on blue team. And then I can join blue team. So let's add groups to the equation now. So when I create a team, I need to add it to a group. And so maybe we change. Somebody give me some good, I don't know. I need some groups and I need some teams. That makes sense.
Oh yeah. Why don't we do like some sort of animals or something like that? Or let's see, groups and teams.
So what are you saying? Like, we'll do.
You could do like
We'll do.
water.
So yeah, I'm thinking like fish or cats, and then the teams can be types of fish and types of cats.
Yeah, it could be just like cats, and then like orange, black. Make it simple, and then you can do dogs, big, small, something like that. I'm okay, whatever. Is there anything that we can help you with while you're doing that, while you're getting that ready?
Um, more triggers. So I've got on the fish group, we'll have bluegill and trout. Actually, I'll just do bass and trout. That's easy. And then what? Huh?
Sorry, but what if you had two different mini games in one world, like a fish game and a cat game, and they're playing? These two teams are able to play these different games, but we need to accrue scores and stuff for them. You know what I mean? Like you'd have just trying to put together the use case for it. Like if you have two different games running that they can choose to play.
I mean, why would you? Why groups though?
And then you have, well, so you can get stats overall. Like,
Maybe there would be like, I don't know, somebody thought about this somewhere. Like maybe there's different levels or different areas that you can access.
So we need a bass trigger, a trout trigger, a lion trigger, and a tiger trigger. Yeah. Okay, so I need to specify the group. I think someone just went the extra mile with like a basic system is all.
I still think they had some scenario where they're like, oh no, we really have like it was all built, and then they figured out, oh no, there's one big flaw, and it's like work around that. That's my theory.
Oh, we'll say display group fish and display group cats. And so, actually, I don't like that at all. I'm just going to keep it to one text gizmo. Maybe it's so you can have multiple games going simultaneously. Group 1 could be a race. Group 2 could be score-based. I mean, I think the logic overall is going to be pretty simple, so just however you can imagine the logic working for you. I think it's what it's going to boil down to. Alright, let me build this text. What if I don't specify the group here when I want to get the team players? Anyway, there's a couple of things I want to do though. I want to list and honestly, I don't even know. Like, I think doing the string. I think doing this string thing is just overcomplicating it. I want to just eliminate that and reduce it down to console logs. So we don't need you. I don't think I need any of you. Maybe I do. All right, but so what the? I'll do console log. And I want you to just show me this dot world dot team dot get group names. So give me the group names. No parameter, returns a string array. Also console.log this.world.team.get team names. And it won't, it's an option, it's optional to list the group. So I'm thinking if I don't list the group, I'll get both teams, and if I list the group, I'll only get teams within that group. Let's see. So for the first one, we'll list no group. I'm assuming we'll get all team names. I don't know. And then we'll do one where we specify each group. Get team names, and the group will be fish. And then I'll do one for cats. Then console.log. What else can we show? Get team players. And so this is interesting because we list the world, we list the team name, and then there is the optional group name. And so maybe I don't list any group names this first time around. And then maybe we'll test again where I'll list the group names and see what the change in behavior is. If none are given, it probably makes a default group. It definitely does when we go to create. But I'm not sure about getting stuff we've already created, right? That's kind of where I'm curious about. All right, so let's save what we got here. Let's see what you guys have done. Oh, there's actual fish in the world. Okay, cool. All right, let's.
It took me a while to model those. Like just had to reference fish, open up Blender.
Yeah, you had to get a go catch a reference example and take a picture.
I had to pull the Billy Bass off my wall without him singing at me.
All right. Oh. Bass trigger, trout trigger, lion trigger, and tiger trigger. Okay. And console is clear. Restart the world. All right, so I'll join Bass. And so let's see what printed out. So the first thing we asked for was get the team group names, and the only thing that came back was default. But when the world started, I clearly, okay, interesting. No, why did this come back red team, blue team? I haven't created any groups. I just created teams, but then I specified a group, but then that group didn't exist, so it must have just created the team and ignored. Unless we're bugged, we could be bugged. We may have to shut the server down. So I asked for team names and it gave me blue team, red team, when it should have either given me nothing or bass, trout, lion, and tiger. I'm going to shut the server down. So it's going to kick you guys out and just rejoin as soon as you get back into the screen. So I've experienced issues lately where it's like script changes are just not being applied to the world until you shut it down and join the world again. So I don't even like try to troubleshoot stuff anymore. As soon as it don't work and don't make sense, I'm shutting it down. I ain't wasting time with it. All right, no point in hopping in as a group just yet. So let me just run through one of these triggers. Boom. Let's see what we got in console here. So this time I got default and I got no team names. And so that's kind of what I would expect because I didn't create, or I got default for groups. So automatically when the world starts, there's a default group. but then when I asked for team names, I got empty. Even though I tried to create 4 team names, I referenced groups that I had not yet created, so they just got ignored entirely. So let me go into the script now, and we will do this.world. Let me bring it over here so you guys can just watch, since there's nothing else to see at the moment. Team.create team group fish and cats. So now I expect to see more data when I step through the trigger this time. Alright, let's see what we got. I didn't get jack shit again. So, not what I expected. Also, script compilations may not. Let's give it one more try. I may have jumped a gun on that one. One more try. Boom. Okay, here we go. Now we got results. So what we got was. Let me just refresh what I was asking for, actually. Okay, so group names came back with default, fish, and cat. Cool. Team names came back. Wait. So I asked for team names, but I didn't specify a group. And so it gave me back nothing. I guess because there are no team names in default. That's why I got nothing here. So that makes sense. It didn't specify, it defaulted to default, no teams were in default. Now when I asked for specific team names for fish, I got bass and trout. And when I asked for specific team names for cat, I got lion and tiger, which is what I would expect. I asked for players in this world for bass, trout, lion, and tiger. So that's these 4 here. They all came back empty because I didn't specify the group. So it defaulted to default. Bass, trout, lion, and tiger don't exist on default, so they were, not that they were ignored, well, it just returned back undefined. So like it gave no results, right? But why it did it twice, I actually don't know. I don't know why I'm getting these same logs again. But anyway, that does help explain some of the behavior. So now if I were to make some changes to our script.
I think you're displaying text twice. Or, wait.
I don't know why it came through. I don't know why it came through a second time, because I only entered one trigger. It only should have called display text once, and then it only should have executed these console logs one time.
Maybe it was in your hand or something.
Yeah, I might have accidentally just tipped it on my way out or something. I don't know. Alright, so now what I'm going to have to do here is I have to specify the group, or else it defaults to default, and these teams don't exist on default, so I get no results. So if they're in a group, you have to specify the group or you'll get no results. Alright. Okay, that time it executed once. And let's see what we got here. I have to keep referencing what's supposed to be here. Okay, so group names came through. Team names, again, did not come through because there was no, in this particular instance, there was no group specified. Here's where I specified the groups. Here's where I specified I wanted the bass team from the fish group, and it gave me Yeah, so it gave me a reference to the player and of course my ID. I think that might actually be my index. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So yeah, so this is what I expected to see. Um, okay. I thought I would need you guys more, but you did lovely. You did lovely work though. I want to see what else are we missing. What else can we test here?
How
How
did
did
you
you
get
get
a
a
player
player
ID
ID
of
of
5?
5?
Brother, I don't know. That's not in the scope of tonight. Let's.
Yours,
Yours,
yours
yours
zero.
0, I'm sure.
I would think so, right?
I think the bass, the tiger, the trout, and the lion were already in the scene.
Right.
Right.
Actually, I'm sitting in the world right now too. So, and then bird runs, and then there's a smaller.
I should have been the first one back into the world though. And so my world ID, my world index should be 0. Um, this dot world dot teams dot. Let's see what else we can do. I'm not going to mess with the add local player to team because I mean obviously that's. I can't even wrap my head around why this script would be running locally. Like unless there's a scenario where every player, that don't even make sense. Not even going there. So we created a team. We created a group. We haven't deleted any, but I imagine this works the opposite of creating. We got the team group names. We got the team names. We got the team players. Yeah.
If you're working as a team and you score, so you get a coin or something like that, you might want to register locally for yourself, for your kills or whatever, as opposed to
I don't know why I would need to maintain teams on a individual player.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. I'm just trying to rationalize it.
I would imagine probably this feature was created for one of the studios or something. So like you could look at the games, the new, I don't know, like what new games might use this or something.
It's a good call.
But I'm gonna go grab dinner. Thank you, Blue. This was enlightening and also like confusing at the same time.
Yeah.
But,
Um,
You
and
know, I mean, obviously there's use cases for it.
and two, I think to null value points point, since these do return arrays, I should be able to do something like dot length, right, and get the length of a thing as well. So that's kind of convenient. Um, I mean, it's cool. I'm not. We're done. I'll go ahead and shut everything down here in just a moment. It is 10 o'clock, so our hour is up. So, I mean, and we really touched everything, honestly, with the exception of like just removing players. But this is what I wanted to know is like what was the behavior if I called these things with and without groups, and really, I think it just boils down to whatever you can imagine, grouping teams up for. You have the option. So. But yeah, okay. Well, not too bad of a session. I'll go ahead and we will shut down YouTube. So thanks for